You know me.
Hello?
We live?
Can you guys see us? This is starting
Usually
soon.
it's delayed a little, isn't it?
Yeah, it might be.
Yeah, there it is.
Hello, what's going on, guys? We made it. So, this is Murder, She Ate, which is not about keto.
We usually eat keto food though, but now it's just murder talk.
And I have one of these. This is Topo Chico Lime. I
Oh.
really like these.
I forgot my water. Can I have your water?
I guess. Where's yours?
It's just upstairs.
Okay.
This is my Valentine gift.
And it's a special, no, I have another gift for you. It's a special Valentine's Day edition of Murder, She Ate. So usually, you guys know I come with the mini mysteries.
Is the gift the mini mystery?
Kind of.
Oh.
I think you'll appreciate
I
it.
thought it was going to be like actually a fun gift.
So Mega has the case today.
I do indeed.
And there's some CCTV footage, which is always great. Love
Yeah.
those. And we got you guys here in chat. So I think the mini mysteries I got here, which aren't really mysteries today, this will be fun to chat about. So what are you guys eating? A lot of people like to eat dinner with us.
Oh, can
Well,
you
we
put
do.
the chat on this side?
Well, no, because I have this is the frame that the screen share is.
Oh.
So, what are you guys eating for dinner? What are you losers doing all alone watching us on Valentine's Day?
Well, what are us losers doing all alone talking to a camera? We got our only Valentine we ever need though right here.
Yeah.
This little guy. And he's been doing so good.
Yeah, he's sleeping through the night pretty well now. He puts himself back to sleep.
Such a proud mom.
Is
Being a parent is so rewarding.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't it like the best thing ever?
Yeah.
Doesn't it beat like, I don't know, college championship
Yeah, of course.
basketball game?
Yeah.
Does it? I thought he would say no.
No, it does.
I don't think there's anything that trumps it.
Cold shrimp and lobster meat.
Ooh.
That's like the weirdest way I've ever heard someone phrase that dinner. You just say shrimp and lobster. You don't have to say cold shrimp and lobster meat. How did we celebrate Valentine's Day?
We went out on Wednesday night, but
Yeah.
today we chillaxed. We went shopping. I got my eyebrows done, played with Theo, watched The Rap Game on Netflix. It's a rap show.
Yeah, it's not a very good show. Okay, should we jump into it?
Mm-hmm.
Mini mystery? So, since it is Valentine's Day, I love reading this forum. It's the relationship advice forum on Reddit. And in my opinion, the advice they give is usually, sometimes it's good, because the best advice gets upvoted to the top.
Okay.
But usually Reddit is bad with advice, because it's all like kids. That's what I've realized. Like, very few people
How
are
old?
30, 40, 50. Most of them are like 22 years old on Reddit. So 22-year-olds giving relationship advice, not the best.
All the 22-year-olds are like, ugh,
But Mega is exceptionally giving relationship advice.
that makes no sense. I'm exceptionally giving it relationship.
Exceptional at
Oh, okay.
giving relationship
Thank you.
advice. So I thought we could run through some of the top relationship advice posts of the year.
I'm on board with that. That's like the best.
So, you ready to jump
I
into
can't even
it?
read any of the comments.
I'll switch it over when you're doing the case, when you're not screen sharing.
Okay.
Okay, so I'll share a screen so you guys can read along. Relationship advice. So basically what this is people post on a forum, they have questions about their relationship, and if it's like a really compelling question, it gets a lot of upvotes. So these are the best upvoted ones.
And people respond, or just we're reading the story?
Yeah, and then people respond. We can see what they responded with.
Are you reading this whole thing?
No, I'm just going to pretty much read the top thing,
Oh,
and then
okay.
if we need more details, we'll dig in a little bit.
Okay.
First question. Okay. I, a 31-year-old male, found torn up remnants of a Plan B box in the kitchen garbage. My wife, 27 female, should have no reason to use emergency contraceptive because I had a vasectomy years ago. I talked to her. What do you think about that?
So, like, I've had friends take pregnancy tests at my apartment, you know, so
Okay.
she could just have, like, a friend who came over, panicked with the Plan B and
Oh.
wanted to take it with someone, like, support.
That could be the case. Yeah, you're right.
I guess as a woman, I wouldn't jump to that conclusion, but as a man, I guess I would. worry.
Yeah, I wouldn't have ever really thought about that, but maybe not a lot of people come over. So this is an update. So the first question he asked, what should I do? I found the box. He then talked to her, and basically he said this: hey, I'm not accusing you of anything, but could you tell me why there was a torn up Plan B box? And then she, as soon as he said the words Plan B, she immediately looked like she'd been punched in the stomach and was lost for words.
Okay.
And you can kind of like, I've had that reaction before where you're just like, oh my gosh, like one of my
You're
moms
caught.
catches me in a lie.
Yeah.
So he repeats the question. She looks horrified, started crying, and
Are you crying because you did something you regret? She shook her head violently. I was concerned because I thought something horrendous might have happened. She abruptly shrieked, I'm crying because my effing husband doesn't even trust me.
that's how you always got to flip it.
So I prompted
the
her
best
again,
tactic.
just tell me why is it there? You don't have to hide anything from me. Oh, I'm getting like goosebumps. Where's this going? She yelled, if you don't trust me, this marriage is hopeless. F you or not trusting me. F you for not trusting me.
Yeah, so that's pretty much how it ended. And then she ends up giving him an ultimatum at some point the following night. Apologize, promise to never bring it up again, and learn to trust her completely. And then he would be allowed back home.
And what happened?
He says at the time of this update, he has not returned home. And
That's it, the
have
marriage
had
is
no
over.
contact for over 2 weeks.
That's game over, right?
Well, so to me, I mean, you have to have better communication skills than that. Like, I don't know. I guess I need to know how long they've been married.
That is called gaslighting. Yeah, that is called gaslighting, guys. Don't be doing that to your partners.
So gaslighting is also like the most overused term there is nowadays,
Yeah, but do you know what it means?
Yeah,
Oh,
I know
okay.
what it means.
Well, not everyone knows what it means.
I think that's why it's so overused, because everyone thinks they're really clever when they use it, because they're like, everyone else probably doesn't know what this means.
But that's the epitome, I would say, of it.
Sure.
I've never used the word gaslighting in my life, but that's appropriate.
It's very common on Reddit. So yeah, my thought is she probably did something.
Yeah, of course she did something. Otherwise, that's why she's not admitting, or she won't give a response. There's the ultimatum.
She cheated. Innocent people don't act like that.
Yeah.
That's a very sucky marriage. That's pretty much the answer to every relationship advice. It's just
You
like,
picked the wrong person to
yeah,
be
exactly.
married to.
Like, this is all symptoms of the root cause of you being, one, a terrible decision maker, settling for a horrible spouse. This is just the symptoms. Like, you're probably not innocent in all this. Hire a PI. Coleman Outdoors. Coleman Outdoors is always in these too. Hiring a PI, it sounds so fun. I would love to be a PI. I always say this.
I would never hire a PI. I would just be done with the marriage.
Yeah. Okay. A lot of people saying
She
cheated.
cheated.
We'll go through these quick. There's a few at the end that are just quick ones. My boyfriend, 19-year-old male, has been bullying me online. I feel sick to my stomach. So basically, she posts pictures on a few makeup subreddits. She gets nice comments, but she always gets like really mean comments too. And apparently, when her boyfriend was sleeping one night, she saw he had his Reddit app open, so she went on to it and found that all the mean comments were from him, just on like different accounts that he creates. So what does that say to you? This is like a real psychological
Yeah,
thing
so
going on
the
here.
boyfriend's threatened in some way.
He's trying to hold her down
Yeah.
because he might think like
Because
maybe
like
she's
one of the comments telling me that they vomited after seeing my photos. So yeah, it's like basically trying to make sure she doesn't get like too full of herself and like leave. Like he's insecure and
insecure.
threatened.
Yeah, that's what it is. So I would immediately, knowing what I know now about life, you can't stick with this guy. He's a deadbeat. He's scary.
Yeah,
He's
don't
threatened by
don't go
everyone.
post it on Reddit. Walk your ass out. Jesus.
All modern relationships end at some point. That's a very new age belief you have there.
All modern relationships end at some
I
point?
mean, if we're like talking death, then yeah, that's true.
What does that even
I
mean
guess.
though? Don't all relationships end at some point?
Yeah, the word modern is what makes me think you're not talking about death there, because like my grandparents have been together for 60 years, but that might not be a modern relationship.
Are you saying but
Exactly.
like but if there was cheating in their relationship, they would just stick it out because that's the old fashioned thing to do?
They wouldn't cheat.
I know, but what I'm saying is, like, that's what the use of modern basically infers. That older generations just stick it out no matter what.
Or they just might not cheat.
Oh, no, I'm thinking the opposite. That is one sick puppy. Yeah, cray cray.
This is why I'm single, so much happier.
Yeah.
He's super insecure. Yeah, I agree. I would immediately dump that person. I, 28-year-old male, I believe, think my girlfriend, 26, has been using my gym socks to wipe after going to the bathroom. And it's a long post, but...
Like poop?
The TLDR, too long didn't read. Found my gym socks in the garbage covered in poop. Asked girlfriend about it. She started yelling at me and crying and left.
Are they still together?
She just stormed out of the house and I'm sitting in bed asking myself a lot of questions.
Yeah,
So my whole thing is like the response to it, because like if you did that and you were like, then you're like, yeah, I did that. It was like an emergency, ha ha ha.
or it was Julius's poop, or like
Yeah,
our dog's poop or something.
But the reaction to this, the crying, just like not being able to deal with your actions.
That to me leads me to believe it's like a fetish. Like she likes using gym socks for poop wiping, and now she's caught and she feels ashamed.
Yeah, maybe.
But like if you're gonna do shit like that, hide it better, right? Like like if I eat a snack and I don't want you to know, I'm not putting it on top of the trash can.
You hide
I'm burying it underneath the.
Yeah.
Like you got to be smart about these things, guys.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, so this is a weird one, but update. I threw away the socks. She texted me and she's clearly embarrassed. She owed me an explanation.
Fetish.
No, it's not though.
She confessed
to using the socks after going to the bathroom. Okay, so just like, that's weird.
An accident.
Was there toilet paper there?
My girlfriend has a fear of getting poops on her hands, so she wipes with socks and has done so for a long time. Oh, okay. That's not terrible. But this guy's still weirded out.
I mean, what kind of socks are you using? My socks, when you stretch them, there's like holes, right? If you stretch them?
Yeah, but why is she stretching and then wiping her butt?
Good question.
She's just using thick socks.
I guess you could reuse them too. It might be better for the environment.
But are you just putting all the poop socks in the washing machine?
No.
Do washing machines like get rid of poop? There's still like poop residue, right?
If you get like a really high powered one. Okay, next one. My 18-year-old female, my best friend, 18-year-old female also cheated on her boyfriend, 21-year-old male, got pregnant and is lying that he's the dad. Should I tell him?
No. Like if my best friend Kelsey did that, or Kathleen or Lizzie, I'm not telling. Are you telling about Tarek?
I think you got to reconsider, obviously, the character traits of your best friend. But no, I'm not telling him my best friend.
It's your best friend.
Why, like some random guy, her boyfriend? Why would I tell him?
Even if you're close with him, like ride or die, like best friend comes before.
What is a best friend to you? You would tell one of their secrets to someone who's not your best friend? That doesn't make sense.
That's not how best friendships work.
Yeah.
So,
how do you guys feel about this one? Okay. I mean, it obviously sucks for the guy, but
the guy's none the wiser, right? Forever he'll always think he has a child, and it could be like a great thing for him.
I don't think it's your responsibility to step in there. Tell him. A lot of people saying, tell him, be a good person.
Tell him hemorrhoids. Tell him.
Your friend is a terrible person. Yeah, that's the thing. First off, these are all symptoms. Like I always say, don't make friends with terrible people.
And if you do, accept it and don't tell on your best friend.
Yeah. Maybe encourage them to tell her. Yeah, I think that would be good.
Yeah, that's probably what I would do. I wouldn't force it, but I'd be like, I would probably tell, my boyfriend. You should tell yours.
2 more.
I could do these all night.
I know, these are fun.
I'm going to do this pastime.
I was thinking this would be a good YouTube channel. So my wife slapped our daughter, who's 16, after she came out as gay. I need help dealing with my wife and my daughter. I guess it's not really a question. But...
Okay, so this gives some background. He's an immigrant from Mexico, so this is a foreign family, right? So it's not.
We don't know if his wife is.
Okay.
Yesterday, daughter said she wanted to sit down and talk. Sat down, told me that she wanted to bring her girlfriend over for her birthday. Took some time to sink in. She said, okay, so that went over fine. Then after that, I asked her if she wanted to go out for dinner, blah, blah, that all went. And then at this point, my wife returned from her sister's house, and my wife started screaming at my daughter, slapped her twice. And that's pretty much the story. My wife refuses to talk to me. She told me she'll only be back if I agree to help my daughter become straight. So to me, again, these are values that you have to talk about prior to marriage, right?
Yeah.
What if we have a daughter that is gay? That's obviously a discussion you should have.
But what do you do as the husband?
At that point, so I would never be in that situation. But at that point,
you are in this situation.
I don't really know. There's not a lot you can do.
Yeah, I mean, in the sense, like, I don't think there's a way we could continue our marriage if that's how you reacted to our child being gay.
Yeah, it would be tough, right?
We couldn't ever be on the same page again with our child that's gay.
Yeah.
So I don't think we could be married.
Seems like quite the deal breaker.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to say here, too.
She's 16. Yeah, I don't know.
What is is there any good advice?
I find this one hard to believe, someone says. Not only immigrants are not accepting. Well, he prefaced it by saying he's an immigrant. We didn't say they're not accepting. Support your child.
It's just a phase, someone said. Eesh.
Yeah, support your kid, I guess. That's what we were talking about earlier.
As a parent, you choose. Like, I would choose at this point Theo over Matt.
Yeah. Okay. So guys,
you would choose Theo over me, right?
In what context?
Just all across the board.
I don't know. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, it's your child. I don't know. Okay, go on.
I don't know either.
What are you gonna say?
So we watched this show, Rap Game, and there's this girl who ended up winning it, and she's just like a pretty homely, like nice woman, right?
Homely.
I don't know.
She's
16.
16-year-old girl.
She's 16.
Yeah.
Her dad was very supportive,
She's
like
decent.
helping her in her rap career. And we just looked up videos of her. She's a really good rapper now, but she's also like very sexual. She's 20 years old now.
Vulgar,
overly sexual. Every rap is just like sex talk. The entire thing. It's good raps, but it's also like, I don't know. Do you support your daughter? Like, are you happy? I said I would be happy with that.
I said I don't know.
You said maybe not as happy.
Yeah, maybe not as happy. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I struggle. I'd have to be in the situation. We love our children without conditions always. I agree. Now that I'm a mom, I can
Hire a PI. Hire a PI again. You can disagree with lifestyle, but how do you not just love your child?
Yeah.
Well, maybe that's her like uninformed way of loving her child, right? She's like, I want the best for you. You shouldn't be gay. Life's easier not being gay, obviously. I can see that perspective.
I would put my spouse before child. I don't know.
Oh, Daddy Warbucks is back. Long time no see.
No.
Teach wife a lesson and poop in her socks. He's already coming with the one-liners, too.
I'm hoping the phase comments are a joke. I do, too, secretly.
Okay, last question, or last relationship question, quick one. My 23-year-old female, she's a 23-year-old female, her boyfriend, 29 male, hates that I wear boxers to bed. Basically, they've been together for 3 months. She got in bed one day wearing boxers, and he said, "Do you have to wear those?"
I don't think they're ugly. They're just not very cute. He can go shove it.
Yeah.
Move on. 3 months. That's not even a blip of your time in life. I would just not date someone who has that big of a preference. And if you're comfortable in boxers,
why do you have that big of a preference? What kind of weirdo are you? Like, she's living her life. You have to make decisions based on that. You can't just be constantly telling her what to do.
Yeah.
But I get it if it's like kind of a joke, like you're wearing those. Like, I'll say stuff like that sometimes.
Edit. He's not gay or bi, otherwise experiencing internalized homophobia.
Oh, yeah, we didn't look at all the comments, but that's always what these people in Reddit are saying. They think they're like psychologists, and they're always just like, disown everyone who's mean to you. Like, Never talk to your family again. That's basically their advice they always give.
I would say this guy, though, the boxer issue does have some homophobia, or it's like a mechanism of sort.
We don't have enough to say that.
That's just my deduction. Because I had a boyfriend who was the same, who was very, very weird about gay people and just like in general. And then I found out like 5 years ago he's bisexual and he was in a relationship with a guy.
It tends to, I think, correlate like that a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Someone says, what would you do if your daughter became a stripper? Well, I think that's a personal failing as a parent, obviously.
I don't know. I'd have a conversation with her about it. I'd see where she's coming from first before I'm like, this is the worst choice you could have made. You could have gone a lot. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
your daughter doesn't just become a stripper. You have a lot of input there to where the output is she's a stripper.
Including the friends she hangs out with, the groups
It's mostly your fault as a parent.
If you have an issue with it. If you don't have an issue with it, then it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
There's no fault.
Yeah. Okay. Murder?
Yeah. What's the murder for tonight? So it is a disappearance of Damien Nettles. So this is a really, really big case actually in the UK. There's a book out on it, I think the sister or mom wrote it.
I feel like
it's on Amazon.
Yeah, I've heard this name before.
Should I get going?
Yeah.
Okay. The disappearance of Damien Nettles. At the age of 16, Damien disappeared on November 2nd, 1996 on the Isle of Wight, UK. So the Isle of Wight is a small island on the south coast of England. The population of the isle is 140k, and the population of the town he lives in is 10,500 people. Mm-hmm. So to drive from one side of the island to the other, it only takes 50 minutes. So it's a very small island. And the only way to get to the island is to catch ferries from England to the Isle of Wight.
Really? 10,000 people live on an island and the only way to get there is ferries?
140,000. And
so those are some busy ferries.
Yeah, it takes about 30 minutes to get there. So Damien was often mistaken for being a lot older because he's 6'4", and I'll show you some CCTV footage, and you can see he's very tall.
At 15, he's 6'4"?
16, yeah. But a family said his family always said that he was very gentle and full of life, and he was just a very happy kid. He played the guitar, the trombone, and he was a strong swimmer. And it's to note that at the time of the disappearance, they did live on the coast. He lived with his family.
Okay.
Around 7 p.m. on November 2nd, Damien left his family's home, and he was wearing all black, so black boots, a black sweater, and black jeans, and then he was also carrying his black camera. And his dad dropped him at his friend Chris's house, and Damien and Chris's brother, they ended up walking to a nearby house party. But when they got there, they found out that it was very low key, and it was a whole couples party type of thing. So they decided they wanted to leave. Damien just felt bored or alone, or we're not sure why, but they just wanted to leave.
Is this still on the island?
Yes. Everything is on the island.
And what time did he leave his house?
7.
At night?
Yes, on November 2nd. And there's some speculation to note that he might have left the party to get weed, or he might have left out of boredom, because I said it was a couples thing.
Do we know he smokes weed? He's only 16.
Yeah, but it's very common at that age to be drinking and smoking.
Okay. In the
UK. So it was known that Damien did drink and smoke weed at that age. And again, like I said, it is very common. Maybe some of you can confirm. So Damien and Chris leave the house party around 9:30, and they hop on a ferry back to their home area. So that party was across the river, but it was across another river, but it wasn't in UK, the mainland. It wasn't in England, I mean. But before they get on the ferry, they stop at a corner store and they buy some beer. And since he's so tall, he can get in and out of pubs easily, and he's not questioned.
Do the ferries run do they stop at a certain time?
No, they're like subways. So it's 9:30, so subways are still running, ferries are still running. It's like that, right?
In New York, don't the subways go really late though?
I think till 1 a.m.
Okay.
So when they get back to Cowes, which is in like it's like right. I think that's the area that they live in. When they get back to Cal's, Damien goes in and out of a bunch of different pubs while Chris is waiting outside. So Chris can't get in because he doesn't look like older than 16. And Damien is claiming that he's looking for his sister Sarah. But it turns out his sister's not even on the island at the time because she's actually on the mainland, England, attending college. And this is something that Damien would have known. So it's weird that this was the reason for him to go in and out of pubs.
He's doing something, he's using that as an excuse.
Right.
But,
so it was later speculated that Damien was actually looking for his drug dealer.
Or was he using that as just like an excuse to get into the clubs?
No, this is what he was telling Chris. That's why Chris had to wait outside. Like that's why they were. So they were up on. He was
trying to hide his drug use from Chris.
Possibly, yeah. So they were on like this main street, like I guess like 6th Street, in Austin. It's called High Street. In Cowles. Okay. That has a ton of bars and pubs and like CCTV.
Those are the activities of someone who's like somewhat of a like degenerate drug user. Like you're out with your friend.
But you're looking for your drug dealer.
Yeah, you like separate from your friend to get drugs so then you can be on drugs with your friend and he doesn't know about it. That's like degenerate behavior. Yeah. Not just like casual fun.
Drug use.
Yeah.
Because you'd probably tell your friend. So Chris was later asked about Damien's drug use in a BBC documentary, and there is one BBC did. And Chris avoided the question altogether, but did admit that Damien smoked weed occasionally. So Chris probably had an idea, I'm assuming, but like didn't know the full details of it, so really didn't want to give much away, right? Wouldn't you? Like, I wouldn't want to tell on my friend.
I mean, we're not thinking he was going to buy weed, though. We're thinking like more intense stuff.
I don't know. I'm not thinking anything at this point.
That's what I'm thinking.
So later, Chris did admit that they had taken speed together before, but not on the night of the disappearance. And
someone said that could be the cover story if the police catch him in the pubs underage.
Yeah.
Could be that.
Yeah. And Chris had always denied that he did not know if Damien was on drugs the night of the disappearance. So that clearly is something that is considered.
Are they really good friends?
Mm-hmm. And then there was other people who spoke to his drug use. Not much information, but just to note, an old girlfriend named Abby, she said that towards the end of their relationship, he started to act very sketchy, and now thinking back, she can attribute it to possible drug use. And then his girlfriend at the time, Gemma, she lived on the mainland, but she said that the police never really asked her or questioned her about his drug use. So she didn't really know of anything.
So she didn't think he was on drugs?
Mm-mm. So at 10 p.m. that night, November 2nd, Damien walks into a fish and chip shop called Yorkie's, at which point Chris says that he's cold and he's wet and he just wants to go home. So they start to walk home together, and they end up splitting at Northwood Park area. So this is where Chris goes down Granville Road towards his house, and he says that he sees Damien walk up the stairs in Northwood Park, which is the way that he would have to go home to get to his house. But we know that Damien never made it.
After the fish and chips?
Yes.
Did they get fish and chips?
No. He was just walking in and out of
a lot of places, it seems.
Looking for his sister.
So just to sum up, it seems like the drug use allegations are not that strong.
No, there are no allegations at this point, really.
Yeah. So it's potential, it's a possible, but yeah, it doesn't seem like, and no one really said like he for sure did drugs a lot.
Right.
And then they split up after the fish and chips.
Yeah, around 10 p.m. And the last Chris saw was Damien walking up the stairs in Northwood Park, which is the way he would have to go to get home anyway.
Okay, so he's 6'4", 16-year-old, not really prime target, 10 p.m. at night. This is not like we're starting to kidnap, abduct people yet.
And it's a really small island.
Small island. So this seems weird.
So at 10:45 p.m., some other people said that they saw Damien back on High Street, which is where he originally was, like I said, going in and out of pubs, remember?
I'm thinking more drugs now.
So he clearly goes up the stairs, but ends up turning around, going back to High Street. And he tries to get into a pub called The Fountain, but he's turned away because he seems too intoxicated. And then at about 11 p.m., he's seen in Harbor Lights pub. At 11:15, somebody sees him trying to get into a blue Ford Fiesta outside of the pub. It was just like a parked car, not on. So could be his, could not be his. People don't really know. And then
Wait, we don't know if that's his car?
We know it's not, but at the time, people who
Oh.
see him could just assume that it's his car, right?
So erratic behavior. He's trying to open random cars.
But does he know who the car belongs to? Who knows? And then at 11:30 p.m., he walks back into Yorkie's, that fish and chip shop, and then we can show the CCTV. I would go to like 1:50.
This is Yorkie's here?
Yeah.
Okay, we're at Yorkie's, guys. Is there audio?
Not of. Oh yeah, at the end. So this guy on the left.
Him right here?
Yes, that's him.
So this guy's like 6'6" then. This is him, just normal looking bloke.
Yeah, just talking to people. Doesn't seem tense. Doesn't seem to be any issues, right? Look, talking, chilling. Looks like he's looking at the food.
Yeah.
Okay, pause it.
He's like pretty intensely like eyeing this guy more than I think you normally would.
Like it's like he's on something and he's like trying to engage, right?
It didn't seem like 100% normal.
It doesn't. I mean, you can't really tell much.
Maybe I'm reading too much into it. Is there more here? Or is that it?
Yeah. I wanna. Okay.
Oh, he's the last one.
There is audio. Oh. Okay. So let me just say this. So I will note that. So there's no tension, blah, blah, blah. All these men later are identified as military men. And then after a couple minutes, you can see all the other men leave, and he's the last one in the store, and he's at the cashier. And can they hear the audio?
Not fully.
Okay, and I can just tell you what he says, but
I'll turn it up. Maybe you
try
guys
to
can hear
listen.
this.
Yeah. Okay, that's it. All
What
right.
did he say?
He just kept saying, "Can I have one, please?" And then the cashier's like, "One what?" And he's like, "One, please." So he can't like get the words out. He keeps saying, "Can I have one, please?"
Okay. Hopefully that wasn't like super loud for you guys.
Okay, so he's at the cashier repeating one please, and the store clerk is saying one what, but Damien can't get the words out. And eventually Damien, are you listening?
I just want to watch his behavior for a while, but yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Eventually Damien points to what he wants and is given some chips. So he was just wanted some fries, but he wasn't able to say some fries. And then the employees of the shop note that he didn't seem drunk, but he did seem like he was on something. And you can tell from looking at the footage as you're looking at it right now that like he doesn't seem drunk. He seems fine. Like it seems like there's money in his hand that he's holding. He's sifting. He's talking to people. So potentially on something, but doesn't seem intoxicated from what we can tell, right?
Wait, does he know these people at all?
No.
Okay, so this right here is like a really weird interaction then. Like, this guy doesn't know him. They kind of talk, and then look at him turning around, like trying to hang with these guys. They're just like ignoring him, and now he's staring at them.
So he's drunk. So I've done that when I'm drunk, right? Like, haven't you? Like, tried to like hang with people, and if they're drunk too, like it's not weird.
If they're drunk, okay, yeah.
This is 11 p.m. on a drunken street. He's hanging.
Yeah, maybe I'm reading into
You're
it too
reading.
much.
You read into the. Once I tell you drugs are involved, you automatically you become biased. I found.
Okay. What do you guys think about his behavior there?
I mean, I would say he's on something as opposed to alcohol, right?
Yeah, maybe. It's hard to really say.
Okay. So after Yorkie's, he goes back up High Street and is seen talking to someone outside of another pub near that Ford Fiesta from earlier, but like not much is made of this, and not much is made of looking into who he was speaking to. It's just like something that's noted. And then as he heads back down the street, he passes Yorkie and waves at the employees. So they mentioned that.
This is Yorkie's, a fish shop?
Yeah. And then at 11:52, he attempts to get on a bus and is seen getting on after chatting with the bus driver. And he even attempts to take a picture with the bus driver before getting off and thanks the bus driver. But the bus never even goes anywhere. He gets on and then gets off before the bus even leaves, which is funny. And then a witness later came forward saying that around 12 a.m., Damien had approached him saying, "They are watching us," before walking away. But this is just something else that, might have happened, might not have happened. There's just a lot of speculation in this case, unfortunately. And then 12:06 a.m. is the last time Damien is seen alive. He's caught on CCTV footage on High Street eating his chips, minding his own business. So.
Oh, he ended up getting fish and chips at some point?
Yeah, around 12:06. So there's two possible routes.
Whoa. Did they just point to the camera? Or are they looking at the menu or something?
What are you talking about?
Look.
Yeah, menu.
Menu?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe he's trying to figure out what to order and this guy's trying to help him.
It doesn't seem like he's annoying this guy. If he's can't even get words out, this guy would start getting annoyed, I feel like.
Unless he thought he was drunk and he was drunk too.
Okay.
And he was just going to walk away anyway. Okay. So there's only two routes he could have taken to go home. So the two routes are a walk down the coastline. And remember, it's November. It's dark and wet and cold that night. So probably not the route most people are going to take to go home. The second route would be cutting through the park, Northwood Park, as you mentioned before. But this route would have taken him through a residential area. So had something happen, a fight broke out or there was an altercation, someone would have heard it because it was very residential.
So one is on a coastline.
Mm-hmm.
Is it like a shallow beach, or are we talking some kind of drop off?
Both.
Okay.
You're walking on the coastline, but it is also a beach. So Damien's 9-year-old sister is the first to notice that he doesn't return home that night, and his parents naturally start to panic. And they first call Chris. Chris says he hadn't seen him since the previous night, and no other friends had seen him either. So at 3 p.m. the next day, November 3rd, he's reported missing by the mom. And the police department, this is always the case, aren't helpful at first. And it was actually the family that went door to door saying that he was missing, asking for help. And then it was the mom who accessed this CCTV footage from Yorkie's. She went to all the businesses and on that street, High Street, and then she found that this footage existed. So she's the one that brought it to light for the police. And then she went down to the police department to look at the CCTV footage from the street because that could only be accessed by the police. And she noticed that the police had been tracking the wrong guy the entire time. So she was like, "You're tracking the wrong guy. This is actually, in fact, my son."
Okay, so just putting a cap on the whole activities of the night. So is the idea to go out and have a good time with Chris at the start of the night? Go to a party,
If I'm in his head, yeah.
And then they go back. Maybe Chris is kind of a party pooper type of guy, is what it's maybe seeming like, because he's trying to break off from Chris and then still get after it a little bit, it seems like. And he's chatting people up. It seems like he's still trying to have somewhat of a good time.
Or maybe he's on something.
Maybe. Okay. And then, so after he leaves this fish and chip shop, he goes to a bus, gets on.
Mm-hmm. But gets off before it goes anywhere.
So he's obviously intoxicated.
In some way.
Yeah. Okay. So that's a fact in my mind.
The chips people, or the Yorkie's shop people, said he didn't seem drunk.
Okay. Okay. What else do we got?
Okay. So the police end up losing that footage from the street, so we don't have access to it. So for months, the police are determined that Damien went swimming and drowned, or he fell into the harbor when walking home along the coastline. But the thing to note about the water is that anything that goes in always washes back up, but Damien clearly never washed back up. And his father even goes and talks to the harbor master, and the harbor master agreed that if Damien had drowned, he would have washed up in the next 2 to 3 days. So The possibility at this point is that he could have run away, but it's probably unlikely because the island is small, like we said, and he would have been spotted if he was on a ferry by someone, right? And he would have also had to wait till the next morning to get on a ferry because at 12:06, when he was last seen, the ferries had already stopped.
Yeah.
So since then, the police have apologized to the Nettles family, saying that maybe something more sinister could have happened and they should have been more investigative. But they do claim that they talked to everyone of interest and did a lot of investigating. But what's weird is that there's no proof of, the investigation or any of the interviews they took of the so-called suspects. They just don't have any proof of it, but they say they did all this stuff. So I'm not really sure. And when I think of small island, I think of small town, I think of corruption. Right?
Yeah, you're big on the police corruption angle always.
I am, because I'm Indian, and India is very corrupt.
Wait, what is he doing there?
Putting something on his
fries.
chips.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's salt.
Okay. So.
And this is 1996?
Yeah. So in early 2002, an anonymous informant comes forward.
This is so funny. He waves at the guy, and the guy isn't really acknowledging him or looking back at him. Would you normally wave goodbye like this when you're leaving a fish and chip shop?
Yeah. English people are super nice.
And then just...
I would.
Yeah, it seems like he's just hanging out, like kind of strolling around, having a good night.
Okay. So in early 2002, an anonymous informant comes forward saying a local dealer called Nicky McMara was responsible for Damien's death. So Nicky himself died of a heroin overdose in 2002. So it's possible that this informant came forward because Nicky was already dead. So the police investigated this between 2002 and 2005, but nothing came of it. And this informant was an associate of Nicky and wasn't pleased with the way the police handled it. So 8 years later, he actually went himself and he spoke to Damien's mother personally. And apparently the story is that Damien wanted drugs that night, which kind of fits what's happening here. And he went looking for Nicky, his drug dealer, Nicky McMara. And since Damien owed him a debt of 1/8 of weed, which is not a lot, so I don't know.
It's like $40.
Right, but Nicky maybe got mad. Maybe they had like some sort of a discussion, and Nicky punched him in the head and accidentally killed him. So,
See, I can see like just some tough guy drug dealer trying to just be Scarface and do that. That makes sense to me.
His body was hidden in a drug house for about 3 weeks until it was buried.
Dang. Wait, so he punched him and accidentally killed him?
Yeah, so that's what the informant, this informant is saying.
That's a pretty good story. That makes sense.
So in 2010, the police finally started to take action, and in 2011, 8 people were arrested in connection to Damien's death, but then they were all released. And all 8 people who were arrested were connected to Nicky McMara.
Who was the guy who was the all-star of the chat last week?
Derek?
Was it Derek what?
With the wife?
Was it Derek Nason?
No.
Okay, because this guy just had a gem of a comment. He said, that's how you wave when you leave your friend's house and their mom gave you a popsicle for the road.
That's true.
And Dr. Glow says, that's how you wave when you're high AF.
That's true.
Agree with that, yeah.
That's also very true. Popsicle high, same thing. Okay. So cadaver bodies were even taken to the places that his body could have been buried, but no scent was ever picked up. And I'm a big believer in cadaver dogs.
Yeah, I'm pretty big on those too.
So a couple years later, a man called the Weatherman saw claims to have seen Nicky pin a skinny, tall man up on the night of November 2nd, and then he also later saw Nicky burning a load of stuff in a barrel. And he could even point to the exact location at which this took place. But, I mean, there's nothing really more to that. We don't know who the Weatherman is, and he claims that like his memory was just jogged for some reason. So I don't know if there's much made of it. I hate these dumb like informant things.
Yeah, way after the fact. I don't put much stock in those.
So does he just want to be involved in the case because it's a big case and it's known?
But it's also like thinking this Nicky guy, I don't think he's the type to keep a secret really. Like...
Nicky?
Yeah.
The drug dealer?
Yeah, like what's that movie, Menace to Society, where they like kill someone at the start and it's on VHS tape and they like steal the tape and they're just showing it to all their friends? I feel like that's what Nikki would do.
I didn't see that.
Was that Menace to Society? What movie was that?
But that all being said, the weatherman's tip makes the police dig a bit further into the case, which is good. And so Danny Spencer is one of Nikki's accomplices. He was apparently there the night of the punch, but he doesn't come forward. And rumors are that Danny Spencer somehow got hold of the police, like the confidential files that are the witness statements, and he threatened all of the witnesses. So
seems like terrible police work.
how did he get a hold of the files?
Yeah.
And like then this is also how my corruption theory is backed up.
Yeah, is Nikki like a real hotshot guy where he would have police connections like that?
Yeah. Or yeah, exactly. Or like the accomplices are tied to it.
Because these police connections and like the conspiracy theories, it doesn't always have to be like a big, like, you know, the whole station is in on it. It could just be some rogue cop who's like a dirty cop doing stuff.
Yeah. Or like a parent of a bad kid, which I feel like often happens. So the case, that's really where the case unfolds. Not much else comes of it. And it's a small island, so like he would have been he kind of just like disappears into thin air. And so this remains a disappearance case. Police haven't ruled out like murder or foul play. And the family eventually moves to Texas. It's hard for them to be on the island. And they're still just looking for his remains. Not for him alive, but him dead.
So the real two options are fell in the water.
But he would have washed up.
See, I don't think you can say 100% for sure.
The harbor master said so for 100% sure.
Still, I don't think anything's 100% when you're like in the ocean.
But something like a body would wash up, right?
I think they usually do, yeah, but yeah, probably would. You're right. So I guess Nikki then? That's really all we have to go off.
Yeah.
I guess the fact that he was going into all these places multiple times per night, like going into the bars.
Yeah, do
looking
we
for
think
drugs.
he was on something?
Yeah, and it seems like he was buying drugs. And if he owed the drug dealer
And
money,
and if you're on drugs, it depends on the drugs, I suppose, that already like slows down your system, right? Like your breathing and your heart rate. And then like if you get punched in the head and you're knocked unconscious, like that's probably the likelihood of you dying is higher.
I think punches, like street fights, just randomly sometimes the way you fall, get knocked out, like if you hit your head, you can just die.
That's so scary.
Yeah. I guess I could see that happen, but I don't understand why he would punch him. I guess, who knows?
People just get angry for no reason.
Did any of the drug dealers have access to a boat?
Probably. I'm sure a lot of people on that island had like boats and stuff, right? Wouldn't you imagine?
Probably. Have you all watched The Pharmacist on Netflix? No, people have been saying it's pretty good though.
Yeah, is it like a document? I thought it was just about pharmacists.
I think it's like a mafia thing.
Oh.
Yeah. That's a tough one. The CCTV footage is interesting.
Yeah, he just seems like a nice, goofy guy.
Yeah, he does.
He just wants his fries, but he can't say the word fries, and he just keeps saying,
Number
one,
one.
please.
Yeah.
Look at him just like chatting, hanging.
Dang. There are a lot of cases where someone is drunk and they're walking home and they disappear and it's like they might have fallen into the river.
Remember, I did another case like this.
Yeah, there's a couple cases like that. So that seems to happen more often than we would think.
How do you're a human being and you just disappear like that?
What do you guys got? You got any theories? Could have took him out to sea and dumped the body. If Nikki killed him, and if Nikki was smart, he'd put Damien's body in a suitcase and throw it off the ferry when no one was looking. Wouldn't the suitcase float and wash up to shore too, though?
Yeah.
It's not a mafia thing.
I feel like the suitcase would definitely float, unless you also put rocks in it.
Yeah. Are you aware of EMF, and do you protect your baby from it?
We are aware,
of it.
and no, we do not.
We do a little bit, but like we have Wi-Fi all through the house. We have an
Yeah.
air fryer. We have a microwave. We have a baby monitor. So are we doing like our absolute best? No.
But are we living near Chernobyl? No. He does look very innocent looking. I attribute that to like even just like being on some drugs, you know?
Yeah, I guess that's it. That's the case. And if you guys comment below on this video once it gets uploaded, we'll read those and see for other cases. Should we look at more relationship
I
advice?
was about to say, that's what I'm really interested in here.
Okay.
Can I have some of your Topo Chico,
Oh
Valentine?
my goodness, you're just draining me over here.
I have a thing with water.
Well, yeah, let's look at a few of these. Wife, 38, is convinced that she is pregnant, even though every pregnancy test, store-bought and medical, comes back negative. It's taking a toll on our marriage because she thinks I'm going to abandon her and our,
Oh
our
no.
twins.
Oh
in parentheses.
no. What do you do there?
So that is just cognitive decline of some kind,
She
right?
needs some help.
Married for 2 years, together for 15.
Forgot to add, I've tried talking to her into therapy, but she accuses me of gaslighting her.
See, gaslighting is all over Reddit. I've never been in the situation with a spouse where like I feel like there's some kind of mental thing going on where I can't just talk to them and they understand what I'm saying. Where I'm like, you're not pregnant. All the tests are saying negative. What are you talking about?
But
You really slammed this.
no, I didn't. But like, if that was us, I wouldn't just abandon you.
If I was saying crazy stuff like you're pregnant,
Yeah,
don't leave us and our twins.
yeah. Or like you were just like, I was like gaining weight and you were like convinced I was pregnant. Right?
Yeah.
Like, would you leave me?
I mean,
You would try to get me help, right?
well, at some point, yeah.
You know me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's easy to say things when you're reading this stuff, but and the same token, like if it were you.
It's called phantom pregnancy. Can y'all give me relationship advice? My BF of almost 2 months hasn't mentioned Valentine's Day to me.
Does he like not? I mean, why are you waiting for him to mention Valentine's
I would just mention
Day?
it to him.
I would just say Happy Valentine's Day. Get him like chocolate. See, that's what you got to do. Like if he forgets, you get something, and then you make him feel bad about it.
I'm pretty into just saying what you want and not playing these expectation games where it's like if
He's lying.
No.
You have expectations of me you do not make clear.
Well, I have expectations of whoever I'm with. Yeah.
But I think with something like this, I would just, if you want to celebrate Valentine's Day, you should do something for it. Maybe it's not a big deal for him.
I would just say Happy Valentine's Day. You want to do something?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Get him chocolate. I feel like I've made more of the effort on like holidays and stuff with us.
I'm not that big on holidays.
Yeah.
But
And you have to be fine with that because maybe he's not either.
Yeah, if you're gonna like not say anything and then be mad at him for forgetting, I don't know. I don't think that's a good. He should remember, of course, that too. But I don't think it's good to like.
Should he remember?
Yeah, because it's very like I don't really follow holidays, but it was obviously Valentine's Day.
yeah.
Everyone knows Valentine's Day.
Yeah. Oh. He didn't want to celebrate together. I got him a gift. He didn't mention it. Oh. Are you guys exclusive? Is he potentially dating? I got him a Valentine's Day gift, 2 tickets to a comedy club, which he received in an email, and he hasn't mentioned
Could have
it.
gone to spam. Like who knows?
Yeah, that's what I would just say something. Just be like, "Hey, babe, did you get the gift I sent? I'm super excited." Or like, I would just bring it up and just in a very casual way. It
That's
could have
really
gone
nice,
to spam.
though.
Yeah, that's a great gift.
Yeah. It wouldn't go to spam though if you send it directly to him, unless it was from Ticketmaster.
That's what I'm assuming. It was from
I don't
Ticketmaster.
think it would go to spam though. Oh, Jay has some advice. Maddie, get pregnant by another guy. Tell your best friend. Post it on Reddit and never tell him ever. Great advice.
Maddie, take the tickets and use it yourself with your friends. I mean, if he never says anything, girl.
If you really like the guy, you got to go after what you want.
Yeah.
I'm not really as much into like
wait and see.
Wait and see. Go with your friends. But there's also there is some kind of game going on. You got to play a little bit hard to get because that's what attracts men.
How old are you and what city do you live in? I think that says a lot too. I'm not sure if we're exclusive. We've been on 5 dates.
You're not.
5 dates isn't. Unfortunately, yeah, that's not.
If you're not sure if you're exclusive, then you're probably not.
Yeah, because I actually asked Matt.
Yeah.
If we were, I was like, are we exclusively dating? I remember the moment I asked him.
Yeah.
Look, he just passed me his Topo Chico because he knows I want some. Anything more else?
This is great. We got a live question on the air.
I love this.
My boyfriend, 22, spiked my drink the other night. 21 female. What did he spike it with? So he comes back with flavored water. Something tasted off.
If it tasted like gasoline, you definitely got roofied, girl.
It doesn't say what he spiked it with, I don't think. But she ended up not drinking it. Or maybe he didn't even spike it. It doesn't seem like she knows for sure if he spiked it.
But if you think your 22-year-old boyfriend spiked your drink, then he's probably spiked other women's drinks, and I would get out of that for sure.
Yeah.
Maddie said, I'm 21, he's 26, and worried he doesn't want to celebrate because he wants to break up. Is there another reason he would ignore me? So if you've been on 5 dates and you don't know if you're exclusive, then I also wouldn't assume that he wants to break up because there's no breaking up to be done, right? Because you're not in a full-blown relationship. We go to the same university. I'm a senior and he is a PhD student. I know for sure he's not married.
I've known him for 4 years.
If you've known him for 4 years, you guys have been on 5 dates, you really like the guy, I would just talk to him.
I mean, 5 dates, is that enough dates to be exclusive with someone? Maybe, right?
And now you're saying you know the apartment complex he lives in. Don't stalk him, Maddie.
Yeah, you should spy on him tonight.
No, I wouldn't. I would just call him. Don't text him. Do not text, guys. Texting just leads to more complication and lots more miscommunication. Definitely just call him. Just be like, hey, did you get the comedy tickets I sent you? Right?
Yeah. Hire a PI.
You just have to really own it. And
how much do PIs cost?
I'm sure you can get a cheap one.
See, the thing with hiring a PI is if you're hiring a PI...
Make?
Oh, how much do private investigators cost? If you're hiring a PI, the thing you're hiring the PI for is already beyond salvaging, right? Unless it's your daughter was abducted or something like that.
Yeah.
But if you're hiring it for your wife, to spy on your wife, you're better off just getting a divorce, paying for the divorce lawyer. Locating a person is only $300 to $600? That seems cheap. That seems really cheap.
For just maybe not a great one.
Thanks, Mega. That's good advice.
Yeah, I mean, I remember being 21. It's so easy to get hung up. I mean, at any age, really, right? On someone you really like and trying to decide if they like you back and trying to read the cues. But yeah, I would just be upfront about it, and there's so many guys out there, and you're probably an incredible person, so.
Couple more, I guess. A lot of them are just kind of basic.
Yeah.
Me, 34-year-old male and fiance, I'm in the process of calling a halt to our wedding as she has asked for an open relationship.
That reminds me of Succession.
Does it?
Yeah, remember?
Don't spoil. But no, I don't remember.
Yeah, I would definitely call a halt to the relationship because if she wants to be in an open relationship, she doesn't want to be with you.
Yeah, I would say so. Especially right before the wedding. That doesn't make sense.
It does make sense. It means she doesn't want to be with you.
Yeah, that is what it means. When are the tickets for, though, Maddie? Are you going to miss it?
I assume they're not for tonight.
Jay says you shouldn't have to chase someone like that. If he cared, he would have already responded.
Dude, Maddie, I have chased so many guys, and I don't not regret it. Like, I definitely regret all that time that I wasted just worrying about someone who doesn't give a shit about me.
But there is the possibility of, like, he just doesn't want a serious relationship, and once you start calling, he's like, I don't want this, bye.
And ghost you?
That's a potential, too, but then you're never going to end up, like, with him, so you'll learn that sooner.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that, like, ghosting is a way to...
Well, they go to school together, though.
No, well, he's a PhD student.
I don't think he would ghost her, though, would he?
Why not? Haven't you ever been ghosted?
Not by someone I might see again.
They go to the same university, but he's a PhD student, so I assume you're not in the same building at all.
No. Jay has some good life advice on here. Jay Aguilera?
Christina's brother, younger.
Can we get Maddie live on the air? Oh, it is Christina's brother?
Maddie, what's your number? I'm going to hit you up. It's just for the comedy club. It's not for a specific show. Yeah, I mean, if you don't want to put pressure on it, just hold off. Just, I guess, call him tomorrow. I don't know what's appropriate, what your communication's like. Because someone you're dating, you text every day, right?
Yes.
If you're, like, newly dating someone, you're
Most
texting
days.
every day.
You can go, like, maybe one day once in a while without.
Yeah. My husband said something disgusting to me.
Where? I don't like reading disgusting things, though.
I just gave birth a couple months ago, and my husband has been so jealous of his own son.
What?
He was starting to lose patience. Honey, I have to take care of him before you. You know that. And what he said was really stunning. He looked me right in the eyes and says, if you love him so much, why...
This is what he said.
Oh my God.
28-year-old man? 25-year-old woman? I don't know. That seems pretty insane. Yeah, I mean, what do you do with that?
He just sounds like an immature child.
I guess I don't know the relationship. I mean, yeah, that's not something I think you ever say, even if you're joking. But if you have, like, a really weird sense of humor, I can see that being a joke. But, like, yeah, it's... I don't know.
Maddie. It's a small campus, very different scheduled. He mentioned on the phone that he feels like I don't have a positive outlook on our relationship. So that to me sounds like maybe you're just not, like, a positive person. Like, you automatically assume the worst. Like, right now you assume he saw the tickets and he's ignoring you and he doesn't want to celebrate with you, right? Like, you're thinking the worst when maybe he's just super, super busy and hasn't seen the email yet, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I just think you need more communication overall.
Yeah.
And, like, maybe that's not something he's really down for either. Like, he could be being distant for a reason because he doesn't want an actual girlfriend.
Yeah.
Maybe. That's possible.
Maybe he just, he's, like, comfortable with someone, but he doesn't want the exclusive relationship.
Like, he wants to keep you coming back.
But at arm's length.
Yeah, arm's length.
And
it could be that.
And him saying, like, you don't have a positive outlook could be just him making an excuse so that he has a way out, you know?
Yeah. I don't really, like, don't listen to my relationship advice,
Same.
but what I would do is...
I'm just trying to parse it out.
I would just be more forceful with what you want, and he's either going to go one way or the other. He doesn't want to be with you, or he does. Like, you have to put him to some kind of decision. But it's also only been 5 days. Like, you can take your time. Like, give it a couple months. If you want something different.
If you want to wait that long, though, but, like, maybe you don't have a couple months to just, like, wait around. Yes, I'm a very serious person, can be kind of cynical. I'm not a hopeless romantic, and he is. So that, I mean, maybe he needs someone more of a hopeless romantic. But maybe you need someone like that too. Maybe you need a hopeless romantic.
No one had any takes on that one.
I mean, what would you say if I said something like that about you to you about Theo?
I would just assume you're joking.
Yeah, I would.
But there's
would
also
never say
things
that.
there's also things you could say that would just be like, you shouldn't say that. That's weird, messed up. I think he wants a serious relationship, but with someone who is more playful and romantic. I'm worried that he's ignoring me because he wants to break up.
So 2 things. You're making a big assumption that he wants a serious relationship with someone who's more playful and romantic. That's very specific. Second thing I would say is that you shouldn't be worried that he wants to break up with you. If he wants to break up with you, it is what it is, right? You're 21. You were extremely, extremely young. I didn't meet Matt until I was 25.
I think you gotta...
People don't meet, like, the person they're with until they're, like, 30, 35. And, like, you just have to... I wouldn't be worried about something like that. I would just accept it for what it is.
I think you gotta come more from the perspective that he's lucky to have you. You're coming at it from a scarcity mindset. Like, he's the only guy out there for you.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone else wants him, that type of thing. You're the attractive asset.
You're the asset, yeah.
Yeah, that's just more the mindset you
And
need
if
to
he
have.
doesn't want you, his loss.
Nobody is using the term gaslighting correctly, and it's triggering me. You should have said, and it's gaslighting me. All right. He's sick saying that to his wife about his son.
Yeah. That is creepy. But that happens.
Because it's your son. She's doing something for the family.
But a lot of men are taken care of by their wives.
You take care of me.
Yeah, I do. But you also understand that Theo comes first right now.
Yeah.
Matt, that is profound.
Oh, thank you.
But you should really take that advice and run with it, Maddie.
Is it okay to buy my boyfriend flowers?
Yeah, why
but
not?
He doesn't really want them.
That's a dumb question. Get yourself some takeout or do something nice for yourself tonight, Maddie. Go out with some friends.
The way I met my boyfriend is a bit cringy. How do I tell people when they ask? I posted on my city subreddit that I was lonely, I like video games, and he wanted to meet somebody. You tell the story with confidence exactly how it happened. That's how you tell the story. What do you mean? You have to make up some story? This is your life. Why would you lie about your life that you're embarrassed of?
He told me he was lonely. I mentioned how I wanted a cuddle badly. He offered me a cuddle.
I mean, you don't have to go that in depth. But just say, yeah, I've met him on Reddit. Like, that's... I guess you could tell this much of a story.
We got into bed and cuddled for 3 hours.
I mean, that's very cringy, but...
I know it sounds a little cringy, but to me it wasn't.
Yeah. I think if you tell that... Like, if I read that in a book from an author who I know had been just like, he's like led a struggled life, I'd be like, dang, that's the position he was in at one point? That's awesome. That's cool. Built character. What do you think about this?
Derek said, do a playful prank, like gluing everything in his apartment, or throw away his dissertation.
I think this is the same Derek from last time.
He just changed his picture and dumped his wife, and he's like, I'm on my own for Murder, She Ate. Oh, you're doing Valentines. Good. You should.
I met my husband at 20, married at 22, first kid 23.
Dang.
Just had baby number 2. Just communicate clearly without games and communicate everything that's relevant. No lies. Life lessons, Teresa.
How old
I
are
like
you,
that.
Teresa? Are you 24 then?
Probably 26 now, maybe? 25, 26? Maddie, you got to report back. You're having coffee or lunch tomorrow.
How are you going to report to us, though? You think he's going to break up with you then?
You mean you think he's going to make the biggest mistake of his life?
Just don't show up. Just break up with him before. I'm just kidding.
No, don't do that.
That might not be the case, though. I think you're just working yourself up. If it is the case, you'll find out tomorrow, but I wouldn't stress it until you have to. I think we as women do that a lot. We get ahead of ourselves.
Okay. I think that's it.
Yeah.
It's been an hour and 15. So maybe we'll do one next week. I think we're going to be gone next week.
We'll be back Friday. We'll
So
be back
maybe
Thursday.
We'll do a live.
But yeah, maybe we'll do one. All right, guys. Maddie, best of luck with everything.
Yeah, report back, Maddie.
If you can, somehow.
All
Email
right.
us.
See you guys.